What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Genevieve here, and today we are doing another speed build in The Sims 4. So today I put myself to a challenge and to the test, and we are creating Mad Hatter's home. So Mad Hatter's obviously Johnny Depp in Alice in Wonderland, or just Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland, like the cartoon. So he's very creative and very delusional and just wants everything to be perfect and wants to meet everyone's expectations and makes sure that just everybody's happy. So yeah, I found his home on the internet. It's something different to what it looks like in the cartoon, so I decided to go for the more realistic Mad Hatter home in the movie. So yeah, it was quite a bit of a challenge, especially with the terrain, and yeah, but I think we got there, and I think the end result is really awesome. And yeah, I think it looks as similar as I can get it in The Sims 4. It's very difficult to try replicate something that is completely out of, I don't know, just completely different to what you create in The Sims, which is normal houses. So yeah, so now as you can see, I raised the terrain just to create like that mountain effect. So he is on a straight slope in the middle of a whole bunch of mountains around him with fountains and things like that. So the background or the landscaping is very awesome. So you will see me try and create that in this video. So yeah, so now we just created the exterior. So it does have, I would say, 3 floors. The interior is very small, and I had to work with what I had, so it's very weird and very strange, and yeah, but anyways, we'll get to that. So yeah, so now we're just working around the exterior. So I made the base very round because his home is a circle basically, but we can't make our walls have that circle edge, so I made the base of the build very round, and then the main build itself is diagonal or cylinder. I don't know what you would call it, but a cube with round sharp edges or diagonal edges basically. So yeah, so this build took quite some time just to perfect and just to try and make it look as similar as possible. I will have an image of what I replicated in this video just so you guys can have your own reference, and then you can comment or give me your opinions on how you feel this build went and if it actually does look like the picture. I hope majority of you think that it does. I'm very happy with it, so I think that's what matters. And yeah, so now we're just working on the 3 floors, and I'm just trying to decide what wallpaper I want. So his home is very brown and beige. He's got a whole bunch of windows all over his home, so yeah, I just try to make everything as brown and beige as possible. And then this roofing took me some time. I cut out a few of the video or when I was recording it because I was just trying everything just to try and make it as round as possible, and I just couldn't get there. So eventually I just stuck to this. I will faff a bit more and change it up a bit, but this is basically what it looks like. So in the image, it's like a hat shape where it curves upwards, so that was quite difficult to get, especially to make it all the way around without any of the other roofs showing basically. So yeah, but I think it looks good enough. Like we got close enough to what it looks like in the picture, so I'm happy with that. And then yeah, so the mountainside around the build I think is really awesome, and the landscaping was quite a bit of work because I wanted to make it look very luscious and very green, because mountains aren't just rocks, so there's a lot of greenery on the mountains. So you'll see that in the end where I just faff with the landscaping and just try and make it as green as possible. And now that is the end result basically of the roofs, and then we will just go around and try cover the edges of the roof, the top roof as well. In the image it's got like a slight diagonal roof going upwards, so I try to replicate that, and that also took me some time. So eventually I just used shelves to make that upward look basically. But yeah, so now we're starting with the landscaping. So we just did a pathway from the stairs. I really wish we didn't have to use the stairs, but we'll just pretend that the house starts from beyond the stairs. So once your Sims get up the stairs, then it cuts off basically, because it's not really realistic when you're in a mountainside and there's a bunch of stairs leading to a house. So yeah, so now I'm just doing the landscaping. So I just did a little pathway with trees that you would basically maybe find on a mountain, but just to make it, just give it a pop of color and some, I don't know, just beauty and excitement leading towards the house. So now we're just adding in these trees just to cover the base, and in the image he does have like really dry brown trees around his home, but I couldn't find something that replicated that, so we just went with this. And yeah, so now we're just busy with the landscaping on the outside. I've got some crazy builds in mind that's coming up next, and I'm just so excited to start this journey with you guys. And I just want to say thank you for all the support and the love that I have received over the past week or two with my builds. I really do appreciate that, and if you really are enjoying my builds, I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section. And if you want to see more and to not miss any future videos, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel and click that notification button, so every time I do upload a video, you'll be notified. So yeah, so now we're just starting with the windows, and yeah, so as I mentioned, everything is brown and beige. So I made the wallpaper beige, and then the windows are basically brown, and then I used those mini shelves just to create a barrier, just to add in more brown and beige all around the home. So his build, I'm actually just looking at it, it probably has about 20 odd windows going around the whole exterior of his home, so it's quite a lot. So I try to fit as much windows as possible. So on one of the walls there are two windows. Obviously one of them will be faded out because you can't put two windows on one wall, but then I just changed the wallpaper and it looks brown. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, so now we just carrying on with the shelving. This can be very timely and very monotonous, but in the end it does look very great. And now I'm going to start with the mountains. So the terrain tool is so awesome. I absolutely love that they brought this into The Sims 4. I remember playing it in The Sims 3, and it just changes your builds around and just brings out that creativity in a person who just loves different heights in terms of builds and things like that. So yeah, so now I'm just creating the mountain. I hope you guys like this mountainside. It's just very difficult, especially where the lot ends, so it looks very sharp and very just straight up, so I couldn't really get that to look as mountain-like and round as possible because I had limited space. So yeah, I think the end result looks really awesome. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I really do. So now I'm just flattening the terrain around the home, and then I'm going to add a pond or like a river that goes around the house, and then eventually you'll see I'm going to try and add the fountain pieces to the mountains just to make it look like there's a fountain and it falls into the river or pond or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I started off with so I actually used the pool instead of the fountain feature, because at least with the pool you can change the color of the water, which I thought was really cool. They need to add that into the pond section because ponds aren't always blue, and it's weird how they added it to the pool section. But pools, I don't know, you wouldn't want a green pool or a red pool, or maybe a red pool, I don't know, it depends on people's taste, but a green or brown pool, I don't think that's very common in households unless your pool is filthy dirty. So I think they need to add that to the pond one as well, or maybe they got confused with the two, I don't know. But yeah, so now you can see I changed the color to green just to give it that pond or river feel, if you want to say. And now we're moving back to the windows. So yeah, this took me a bit of time, but it looks really, really awesome, and I'm very happy with it. So that's where I mentioned I put two windows on one wall, so one of them don't work, so I decided to have the top one to work and then just have the bottom one brown. If you do install this build into your game, just make sure you have bb.moveobjects on, and then if you want the top window to work, just click on it and then click your arrow and it will be bright, because sometimes it just swaps. It's very strange, but yeah, so this build will be in the Sims gallery, and my code is Genevieve 007 if you are looking to install this build in your home. And yeah, so I also have a few other builds there. If you haven't seen my cow's milk ice cream store build, it's on my channel as well. And then I also created Paradise Palms in Fortnite World, basically. So that was a really fun build, and I split that into 4 parts. But anyways, I'm rambling on. Let's get back to the video. So now, as you can see, I'm busy messing around with the roofing of this build. As I said, it's a slope, so it was very difficult to get it exactly as what it looks like. So yeah, eventually I removed the roof and I just put shelves to create that upscale, I don't know, slope, just to give it that type of effect, because the roofing was not working. So yeah, I am gonna cut it quickly just to get to the main point, because it took me so long to try to figure out what I'm gonna do with this roof. But yeah, you guys will see the end result now. And yeah, and then the interior is very, very strange. It's very small because of the diagonals, so I had to add in stairs, obviously, for the Mad Hatter to get up to his different rooms. So it is a very strange layout. You guys will be like, what the actual, like, what is going on here? But I tried to work with what I had, and yeah, it's just very weird, but it has all the necessities that he needs, and I think that's all that matters. If he needs to, or if he needs something else, then he can go visit Alice in her dream world and have his tea party there, because there's no room for his tea party here. So yeah, now we're just carrying on with the windows. This did take a bit of time, so yeah, but anyways. So the interior, let's just go there. It's very colorful. When I think of Johnny Depp in the movie, he's just very colorful, creative, because he creates all these wonderful hats and very decorative hats that you would never wear. So if you do look at his like sewing room, it's very messy and there's a lot of mirrors, and just the colors in general are just completely like not in relation to each other. So I decided to go with that whole color schemes. So there's a lot of pop of color in the interior, but we'll get there now. I think I'm almost done with the windows. So now I'm just adding the shelves to the windows just to create that barrier of the brown that I mentioned. So yeah. So now we're moving on to the interior. So yeah, so the stairs go slap bang in the middle, or quite to the left hand side, but we worked around it. As soon as I saw the stairs had to go in the middle and they couldn't go towards the wall, I was like, oh my word, do I really have to start this whole build again, or what am I going to do? So I just decided to work with what I had, and I added a tiny bathroom in the bottom, so it's just got a toilet. Nothing fancy, and I just felt like he has to be over the top and has to show off his things, so he's got a gold toilet, and majority of his things are gold and black, just to, I don't know, I just feel like it meets his personality, if that makes sense. So yeah, so green door, as I said, there are going to be a lot of pop of colors that don't really go together, but I feel like that fits the Mad Hatter's decorative thoughts and preferences, I don't know. So yeah, so now we're moving on to the tiny kitchen. So the cabinets are brown, and then I'm going to add a purple microwave. There is no stove, but he can do what he has to do with the microwave, or like I said, he can go visit his pals in the land of Wonderland and do what he needs to do. So yeah, so now we're adding a carpet of pop of purple and blue colors. So I just think the colors in general, it actually looks quite amazing when you mess around with colors and you don't really have a plan for what you're going to put into the interior. So, and you just go with the flow, and I think that looks really awesome. So in this corner, I just decided to put a computer with a few shelves in it, and just to clutter everything up in this corner, just to be like his personal space where he just has to work and create designs and things like that. So if he needs to contact someone or just wants to get away from the world, he can go into that corner and just be by himself. And yeah, so now we're just doing the wallpaper. The wallpaper is not too extravagant, at least, so I wanted to minimize that as much as possible. And then the curtains are going to be purple just to go with the carpet. And then we're going to move on to the second floor. So second floor is basically his own space where he can paint things and create his designs and sew and, I don't know, just do what he needs to do and bring out his creative side on the second floor. So it's also it's basically the same layout as the first floor, but this one obviously has less space because of the second set of stairs. So yeah, as you can see, there was not much to work with, but I think we made it work. I think we got there, and it's just like something completely different to what you would do in your build. So I feel like with Mad Hatter, as he's not a usual person or anything of that matter, so his home is completely different to everybody else's. So yeah, so now we're just adding in a small coffee table, and I'm just adding a music player, a notebook for him to write down his ideas, or measurements, or whatever the case may be, if he's got someone there that he needs to create a hat for. And yeah, so I am using the red shelf. If you have not seen any people on YouTube use the red shelf, it's basically a guide in order to create clutter and put clutter on different levels of height in terms of objects. So if you have a kitchen counter and you want to put like 5 things on the counter, instead of it sticking to that counter, you use the red shelf to just give you some guidance and to move those objects around on that counter. So now we're working on his library and personal space, if you want to say. So he's got a gold and black chair, very extravagant, a red carpet, just to make him feel like he is worth something. And I don't know, this build, I really enjoyed it. And the end result I absolutely love. But yeah, just the layout of the rooms I can't get over. So bright orange carpets, and then yeah, so just a little space for him to sit in a corner and read a book and get away from the world. And yeah, so that's the second floor. Not much. We are going to add 3 mirrors to the side of the stairs, just to give it that Mad Hatter feel. So when he has people to come over to try on hats, he's got a number of mirrors to see different angles of their hats and angles of whatever he created. So I really like the look of that. I haven't tested this house. I'm going to, but I hope your Sims can get around like the mirrors and things like that. So I'm really crossing fingers that that's possible. I'm sure it is, because I try to make everything as small as possible for your Sims to walk past. So fingers crossed. And now we're moving to the bedroom. So at least I had a bit more space, but as I was saying, like, bathroom is downstairs, so you get the toilet downstairs, and then you get the shower in his room. So if your Sims have to do their business, they have to go downstairs, and if they feel like a shower, they have to go upstairs to his room. So I apologize if you feel that this build is just all over the place, but you know what, it's got, like I said, all the necessities that your Sims need. No matter where it is in the build, at least it's there, and they won't die or embarrass themselves. So yeah, so his room is very blue, and then I did downsize the side table, and I think it actually looks really cool. So that table has a glass mirror, and it just, when you downsize it, the mirror moves up, so it actually looks like a floating mirror, which I thought was really awesome. And now we're moving into the tiny bathroom. So it's got a shower, and that is it. And then, yeah, as I said, the toilet is downstairs, so they're going to have to do a few walks to get there. At least they can have some exercise on their way down to the loo or on their way up to the shower. So yeah, so now we just added in dark green carpets and then a dark green picture on the main wall. And now we're just going to add a side table with a small TV just for him to enjoy himself. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you really enjoyed this build, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.